obliterating that reason because we're playing it all on the piano. But if you ever get a chance to listen to it online or having the orchestra play it, it's really cool because each of the characters in the piece has not only their own theme music, but their own instrument that keeps coming back. So this at least gives kids a little bit of a taste of a kind of music that was written in the 20th century, and it has parts that are dissonant, that are just, they're not exactly what you would expect in some of the other music that they played, so this has been a challenge for many of them. So it's been fun to work on, and just kind of like picture that your kids did this on their own, because this is, I know most of you have been a part of big theatrical productions that the kids have worked on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Well, they worked on the music for a lot of weeks here, but we worked on the acting part maybe an hour. So have fun with it, okay? Okay, early one morning, Peter opened the gate and went into the big green meadow next to his house.
After her along the shore.
yelled Peter to the bird, who immediately flew up into the tree, while the duck swam as fast as she could to the middle of the pond where the cat couldn't touch her, and quacked at the cat with all her might. But the cat was more interested in the bird. She crawled round the tree and thought, is it worth climbing up so high? By the time we get there, the bird will have flown away. While Peter was watching the cat make up her mind, he suddenly saw his grandfather standing at the open gate. Grandfather was very angry because Peter had gone out into the meadow. "This is a dangerous place," he growled. "Suppose a wolf came out of the forest. Then what would you do?" But Peter paid no attention to his grandfather's words because boys like Peter aren't afraid of wolves. duck's quacking became even louder than before, and in her excitement, she jumped right out of the pond. But no matter how fast the duck tried to waddle away, she couldn't escape the wolf. He was getting nearer and nearer, catching up with her, and bang, he got her, and with one gulp, he swallowed her. And now, this is how the situation was. The cat was sitting on one branch of the big tree, and the bird on another branch, not too close to the cat. And below them, the wolf, still hungry, was pacing around the tree, looking up at both of them with greedy eyes. In the meantime, Peter, not at all scared by any of this, was standing behind the closed gate, watching everything that was going on. Suddenly, he had a brilliant idea. He ran home, found a strong rope, and climbed up the high stone wall that separated his house from the meadow. You see, the big tree in the meadow was so big that one of its branches reached all the way over to the wall. So Peter grabbed hold of the branch and swung himself easily over onto the tree right next to the bird. Listen, he whispered to the bird. Fly down and circle around the wolf's head. Josie. Fly down and circle around the wolf's head, only watch out he doesn't catch you. Just as you say, chirped the bird, and down he flew. Can I have the music? tail tighter. Just then, Peter saw some hunters coming out of the woods. They had been following the wolf's trail and they were shooting as they came. But Peter, high up in the tree, shouted to the hunters, "Don't shoot! The bird and I have already caught the wolf. All you have to do is help us take him to the zoo." Put the guns down. Don't point at people, remember? Okay, just imagine the victory parade. Peter, of course, wait, freeze. Peter, of course, in the lead. Listen very carefully so you know what to do. Peter, of course, in the lead, and following Peter, the hunters leading the wolf, and winding up the whole parade. We have to wait for Grandfather with his beard on. Grandfather and the cat. Grandfather, of course, was pretty grumpy about the whole thing. Well, he said, and what if Peter hadn't caught the wolf, then what? And above them all flew the little bird, chirping merrily, "Look what we have caught, a whole wolf." Okay, you guys all follow Peter. Peter first. carefully, if you listen very carefully, you could hear the duck still quacking inside the wolf, for the wolf had been in such a hurry that he had swallowed her alive.
Kathy, we'd just like to take a moment and say thank you.
Thank you.